All right, so I wanted to have Jared Cohen come in studio for a couple of minutes because you are a man about town on the high school, college, pro level. Let's go into the high school stuff first. This coming weekend, the playoff matchup you're looking most forward to.
Mountain Point and Pinnacle.
Why?
This game could be a state championship game, and I know that there's people out there that might not like that because it doesn't include Chandler or Hamilton. I think Chandler's going to be the team that ends up winning it all. I've thought that for a long time now. But if one of those two teams weren't able to make it, this matchup would not surprise me. And the bottom half of that Division I bracket is just an absolute gauntlet. When you look at the fact that Pinnacle, if they're going to make it, has to go Highland, a good team, Mountain Point, then Chandler, just to get to the state championship game, and this is the first of those games. Mountain Point maybe a 6 seed, but it's not your ordinary 6 seed. So this could be a 1-2 matchup in past years based on the talent of these two teams. It should be a really, really good one over at Pinnacle. Great running attack of Mountain Point, great aerial attack of Pinnacle.
Division II.
Division II, the game that stands out to me actually involves the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed is Liberty going up against an 8 seed of Paradise Valley. Paradise Valley is extremely talented. Eric Sorensen did a story a couple weeks back on Daniel Bridge-Gadd and their wide receiver Jacob Brown, both juniors, and they are one of the most prolific air attacks in the state. And Liberty, in the past, their defense is much, much improved, which is why they're the number 1 seed this year. But defending the pass is going to be difficult. Liberty has a great defensive back in Corey Wilson, who has a couple Division I offers. This matchup is not your ordinary 1-8 seed, similar to how it is in Division I with Mountain Point Pinnacle. This could be a matchup that you see normally later in the playoffs.
Okay, you were on the sideline for the ASU Notre Dame game. What stood out to you other than the obvious? Was it a player? What was it about that game?
Initially, the atmosphere. It was really electric standing on the field. It was really cool to be a part of it. And I stood right by the tunnel when they first ran out onto the field. When the smoke comes out,
Yeah.
I had a good angle with my camera, being able to shoot it. And the atmosphere was great because both sides, whether you were a Notre Dame fan or an ASU fan, they were into it. It was a lot of fun. Something that really stood out to me from a player standpoint, maybe not an individual player, but a scheme, was their ability to stop the run. And I think that maybe it got noticed after the game, maybe it didn't. That's something Todd Graham takes a lot of pride in. But they really shut down Notre Dame's run game. And because of that, Everett Golston had to make more plays than I think he's comfortable doing. And because of that, turnovers happened, mishaps happened, batted balls happened. And Marcus Hardison is the guy that is the guy on the team that doesn't get enough pub. And he finally was one of the guys sitting in on the post-game press conference for the first time all season. I don't think he was very comfortable with that. I don't think he likes to talk in front of camera and talk in front of large groups. But he has been the guy, in my opinion, that's provided the pressure, helped in stopping the run, and is one of the key pieces to why ASU's been able to turn around their defense.
Okay, so we're a couple of weeks away from ASU U of A. What are you making out of this game a couple of weeks out?
It's really hard to read because both teams are a lot different than they were at the beginning of the year from my view. U of A at the beginning of the year, all about their running game with Nick Wilson and Terrace Jones-Grigsby. Nick Wilson finally was able to break out in the second half of that Colorado game, but he really struggled in the first half, and the fact that U of A was down for most of that first half was because they were having trouble running the football. So if they can declare that run, and you look at how they've been good against when they ran the ball in games compared to when they haven't run the ball, that's been the difference of wins and losses and the way ASU has been able to stop the run. Then conversely, you look at a much improved U of A defense going up against an ASU team that's having issues with play calling, issues with execution, staying out on the field. If you give U of A extra possessions on offense, they're going to take advantage of it. And we saw with Notre Dame, they're a lot more slow and methodical, so that 28-point comeback seemed like it took eternity. U of A can turn 28 points around a lot quicker than Notre Dame can. So if they're not on the field offensively, ASU, and they give U of A extra possessions, they can find themselves in a hole pretty quickly. So it comes down to stopping the run for ASU, and it comes down for their U of A keeping ASU's offense off the field so their offense could take advantage.
We still have a couple of weeks before the game. Good stuff. Jared Cohen, man about town on the football weekend.